Do you remember that Equifax attack, that cyber attack, that data breach that happened in 2017? Over 145 million people's credit reports, spending history, etc., open to hackers? Well, those hackers turned out to be in the Chinese military. This is going to pose a huge, huge conflict possibly between the United States and China. I'm sure Donald Trump isn't just going to sit there and look pretty. I'm sure he's going to say something about that. So let's see what happens. I'm very concerned about that. I don't want escalating trade tensions between the U.S. and China, but there might be some positives. So this happened in 2017 when Trump was newly elected, and they were probably fearful of Trump. This was, they'd never experienced pressure by the United States on trade, and all of a sudden Trump comes in. Now we've got a great trade deal. Both sides are working well. So this could have, we could have known this, and we probably have known this for a long time. My guess is that behind the scenes, Trump is trying to release this now to give leverage ahead of China, being like, hey, you guys don't play by the rules. Clearly, now we're going to expose you to the fucking public. If you, do anything bad to us again, we're going to tell your people who you manipulate through the Chinese media and don't, whatever. It's a whole different thing. So, bad issue. China should not have hacked Equifax. But what advantage does that give them? Well, China's trying to, create a lot of AI. There's essentially the next phase is going to be like AI wars between the United States and China. And China wants to know how the U.S. economy works in detail. We're not going to go hacking Chinese databases. That's just not what the United States is going to do. But China is going to do that. That's a very good strategic advantage. So now they've got enough data to analyze American spending, a lot of stuff. I don't really know exactly what they're going to find out with that, but they're going to use all that data and give it to some AI algorithm, just like gas in a car, and it's all of a sudden going to understand a whole lot more than anybody else in the world. So that's a cheap shot. It's very, very much a cheap shot by China. Trump is either going to use that for, negotiating leverage in the trade war, which is really about solving Chinese practices like this, or this is a completely new thing that they just discovered, and it's going to be a very big conflict. Regardless, let's keep our eyes on it and see how it develops. This is new stuff that came out today. We're not sure what's going to happen. Another thing involving Trump. So the United States has to buy stuff from companies. And one of the things they bought from big tech companies was cloud hosting and server protection, all that kind of stuff. There were a bunch of companies competing for this. It was Microsoft, Amazon, and Oracle. The U.S. decided to go with Microsoft over Amazon. Amazon's the biggest player. Microsoft is rising, though. So Jeff Bezos was like, this is not good. We've got the best platform. The U.S. has to award us the JEDI contract. The JEDI contract's the name of the contract with the Pentagon. You can go look that up. And Jeff Bezos claims that it's because Trump doesn't like him and the Washington Post, so he used political pressure to make that contract go to Microsoft instead. Now, I'm not going to share my opinions about that, but, it's a very strategic move by Amazon on the heels of impeachment with election coming up. They're going straight to Donald Trump, trying to take Donald Trump to court for the same reasons that the Democrats were trying to impeach him. Now, I think the impeachment, and this is what I will give my opinion on, completely baseless, total hoax, trying to get media headlines to take away from Trump, which is, hurt the Democrats in the long run, and is what it is. Now, Jeff Bezos might be trying to do the same thing. We'll see what happens with that. Just another thing to keep in mind, though. We'll see how it affects Amazon. Let's see how it affects Donald Trump, and let's see how it affects the market. So, coronavirus numbers kind of flatlining, not going down, though, which is somewhat concerning. We're hoping these numbers are accurate, obviously, of course. That's the goal. We want accurate numbers. We make decisions based on information. So we're hoping the numbers are accurate. And if they are, it looks like it's flatlining. We're going to hope it's contained. It doesn't really seem to be spreading outside of China. It seems very much still contained within that area. Obviously, we have the cruise in Japan. We have the people in, I believe it was a hotel in France that then went back to England. They were English people. And then one went to Spain. Not too concerning. But let's see how this stuff develops. Keep our eyes peeled. Make sure that China stops hacking the third biggest credit, reporting agency in the country and stop stealing your information for their gain. And we'll see what happens tomorrow. Peace.